Hey, we are live here at Cook's Coffee, and today is a special day because it's Tuesday, April something. I don't know, April what? We're not sure, but it's Tuesday.
April 9th.
April 9th. And we're enjoying our coffee at Cook's Coffee. If you've never been here, they have good coffee and good pastries and really nice people who work here. I have Zaz here. Brandon. Hey, Garrison's going to be on soon. He's going to randomly stop by. He said he's coming from the studio, and we heard your tracks yesterday. Sound good. And maybe sometime you'll come talk with us at Cook's Coffee as well. And so I'm here with Zaz today. And then later Cheryl and Garrison, when they show up, those artists always just kind of like randomly popping in. I mean, I think working with artists, a lot of times we got to be flexible with things in the flow, because you never know how things are going to flow, and always have a plan B, backup plan, and be able to wing it sometimes. But hey, you've been reading a really cool book lately. What's it called?
Yeah, it's called The Mission of Art by Alex Gray, who was a visionary artist in 80s. Well, he's current, but that's when he got most popular. But yeah, it's really cool.
That's a cool picture, even.
Yeah, his art is really cool.
Can you read that passage that you read to me? This is not the book we're actually discussing, but this book is a book that Zaz picked up. So it's not by a Christian author or whatever. So, you know, take whatever you want out of it. But
yeah.
It's really cool.
The artist's mission begins with a full-bodied enthusiasm. The passion and delight of making art seduces a young artist into unknowing alliance with the primal forces of creativity. The collective consciousness of spiritually malnourished humanity seeds the artist's soul with countless images. The artist's soul is a psychic antenna tuned to the needs of the world. Most conscious of the nature of the creative forces operating through them, except to feel determined to drive and joyful satisfaction of their work. Creation is the mystery itself. Wise artists respond to the call of creation by peering into their own hearts. In the heart of the artist is a studio. The soul works constantly there, shuttling between heaven and hell, spirit and matter. Each moment, every sound, vision, taste, and smell, and feeling is a brilliant creation, dynamically colored with emotion and meaning. In reverie, the artist enters the studio of the heart and is awed by the soul's work. The artist then labors to bring these revelations into tangible form. Angels and demons compete to lift the artist's hands. Each artwork is possessed by the unseen force that motivates its creation. The artist becomes a prophetic witness of the truth and time and messenger of the timeless. By touching our deepest center, great art transmits the condition of the soul and awakens the healing power of the spirit.
And that was, can you open it up to that page again? That was just one page of this book. And can you leave it open there, because I wanted to talk. Before we go on, too, I wanted to shout out to Kate Mullins, Magdalena, because she's been really sick. She just got done recording her album in Nashville, and then she came and got really sick afterwards, to where she couldn't even kind of get out of bed. Her back was bothering her and everything. So I just wanted to give a shout out to her and tell her that we love her and we're praying for her, and hope she gets better soon, because it can be discouraging, especially I think there's a lot of ups and downs with artists sometimes. Like if you have a really good show, or you just have a really good project that came out, and then all of a sudden there can be like a down, and you can go really down, because it can be really exhilarating and fulfilling, like this book is saying, where it just fills every aspect of your being sometimes. And then it's kind of like, oh, now I have this downtime that I have to go through. And so if you think of Kate, just in your heart and offer some prayers up to God for her that she would have complete and perfect healing so she could get back to enjoying and creating. And I also want to, yeah, what were you going to say? Nothing. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so I also wanted to tell you all today that we are going to be playing at the Hot Monk tonight. We're playing tonight. We better go home and practice some more. Yeah. And so we're going to have a short set at the open mic. So if anybody wants to come down, or if there's anybody who wants to jump on to the open mic.
Yes.
Uh-oh. Lost us. Okay. So I wanted to talk about the artist mission. Yeah.
Sorry. What I was going to say is what I find a lot of the times is that when that inspiration strikes, the number one thing that the artist needs to have, whatever your art is, like music, art, poetry, writing, is the skill. Because like talent is what comes, like, I think more naturally, just like talent to do with the inspiration, all that. But if you don't fine tune it and just keep it well practiced, then when that inspiration strikes, you won't be able to you lay that information and put it in a thing that you like, you know.
And that is satisfying when you know what you're feeling and seeing, and you can articulate it and put it out there in a form that other people can get that too. It is satisfying. So I agree.
And frustrating. Yeah, if you want to do something really loose and stuff, that's totally fine. But you definitely want to be able to. You don't want to limit yourself by what you can do. You know, you don't want that limitation.
I heard one time I was reading this one book that in the German language, I think it is, there's 2 words for musician. And in our English language, we only have 1 word for musician, but in there they had 2. One was for the musician that expressed himself technically perfect. And then the other one was for a musician who expressed himself from the heart. And then, there was 3 words. And so the 3rd word was for the musician who expressed himself both out of perfectness.
Yeah.
And I think that was like a combination. That was like Chopin or Mozart or some of the
even them, they were like perfect. You know,
rounded musician.
And it's not the amount. Like, you don't have to be Jimi Hendrix on the guitar, but you have to be good at what you do. Like, you don't want to slack on what you do personally. You know, you don't strive to be someone else, but to be perfect at what you do and what you can do,
and keep working at what you're doing. And for sure, keep growing. And I think that's one thing about working with other people, like how collaborating. Yeah, when Garrison played us his collaboration with Brandon, then those people 2 working together, you can sharpen each other's sword. Well, hello, Miss Sue Loretta Moore and Patrick Stowe. Good morning to you all. We have some wonderful guests who are popping in at random points along the way, and we have Zaz here, who's sharing some books that he's been reading. Sharpening swords, yes. Sharpening our swords. And this is not the book that we've been reading, but this was another interesting book. And speaking of which, Sue Loretta Moore, who just popped on here, is my mentor and my coach, and she is super awesome. If anyone has a chance to check out her website, Inner Vision, and she helps me keep my sword sharpened by challenging me and helping me to press on. And I just encourage people out there too, if you don't have a mentor, hook up with a mentor, someone who can catch your vision and encourage you, and especially as a Christian, who can encourage you creatively in the Lord and in Christ. And we also had a great weekend with Tim Moon this weekend. And if anybody, if you don't know Tim Moon, check him out and give him a shout out, because he is he has been doing. He just kind of won an award. He's been doing street ministry. So we went out this weekend first to Pier 39 and bust on the street with all those crazy street performers that are just amazing out there, acting like robots and everything. And then we went and we played for a bingo night for kind of like a nomadic shelter, like homeless shelter situation. And then the next morning at a church, and then the next evening at another shelter, like a drug rehabilitation shelter place. And it's really awesome hanging out with Tim, and he's taken us under his wing and has been another mentor to us in a lot of ways too, and an inspiration. So in this book too that Zaz brought up this morning, it talked about the heart of an artist is a studio itself. And I think one thing that I struggled with when I was younger, and even still do, is second guessing what's in my heart, and is it valuable enough, or is it good enough to put out there? Like, do people really want to hear what's in my heart and in my studio? And I think yes, like we got to have that confidence that we do have something in our studio that's worth getting out there and sharing. What do you have to say about that? You're the heart in your studio.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important reason for an artist to have